Hello YouTube, it's Paul again here on the President Adams. Tasks today are to install a new meter, and this is out of a Cobra 29 LTD. What we're going to do is take the rear inlay out of the meter and put it into this meter. The main reason is that this meter does not have a modulation scale and RF scale. This one has the modulation and RF. This only has RF. So this restoration is about getting back to as close to factory as possible. It's not about any modifications, but it's about making the radio standard again. So that's task number one. Task number two, this is a correct looking coffin mic, however it's a generic mic. So how I solve that is I have mic inlays. I've also got the new faceplate which has arrived, and that's arrived from CB faceplates. You can look them up on Facebook. They're very big, and Bradley's a really nice guy in the UK. So I've had those shipped out to me. The covers have turned out fantastic. Okay. I'm very happy with the result considering the condition of these covers. I would rate my work at about a 9.6 out of 10 on the top and bottom covers. The bracket's not as successful because some adhesive got onto the bracket whilst it was drying, but I recovered from that. It still looks pretty damn good. So I rate that at about an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. Okay, that's just me. Also found the correct screws. So we've now got 2 knobs per side. And there we go. So the first task, I think, is the easy one, is to lay the President logo into this faceplate. It's pretty easy. You prep with isopropyl alcohol, clean it, position very carefully, and trim where needed. So here we go. All right, we've got Ava sitting next to us to watch over all of what we're doing, so that she can pass that on to the next generation of CBers. All right, here we go. What I'm going to use is my hobby knife, and the theory is to lift the decal, put the hobby knife in the middle, drop the decal, the bottom edge in first, and actually no, what I'm going to do is drop the top edge in first and then trim on the bottom edge if needed. Okay, I'll just lift it up. Okay, the decal's on the end of the hobby knife, and we just drop it in like so. I'll go through that now. This is how good Bradley's product is. See that? It's perfect, no trimming. Now that's just sitting there. I just need to dab with the cloth and just push down what is sitting up. Hang on a minute. All right. That job's done, and it took very minor trimming. So what I did was carefully position the decal, drop it in, then with a dental prick, the back of it, I rolled along the bottom side, and then used my hobby knife to cut a line into the square parts, and that's what it looks like. All right. So job number 1 done. Okay, now for the meter. So what we need to do is, I've started already, is pulling off all the knobs, screws, 2 there and 2 there. Just be very careful. Top one's already cracked from previous repairs and removals. I've got to reinforce that somehow. All right, here we go. When you're removing these face plates, just be very careful about the LEDs. Just remember what order they're in. When you pull these out, they're actually stuck in with elastic. by the factory. Okay, so just be aware the long pin is positive. Always check the wires, but on these ones they have marked them the right colour for the hot side, so it's just a matter of pushing them in there like that, and that's great for the process. Because I'm actually removing the paint and repairing the bezel and sanding, I'm actually at this point not going to remove the front faceplate. I'm just going to polish that. So first part of removing the wires, the meter, is we need to undo these two screws and remove them. So here we go. Okay, screws removed, the bracket drops, slowly pry the meter out. Okay, I've removed the bulb. I'm just hanging there, and as due to age, obviously everything's disintegrating as I touch it. You can see from a lot of burn marks within the meter from the lamp. That happens over time. Now you can see the scale. So on this scale we can see modulation and RF. On the new meter it doesn't have the modulation mark, so I'm going to remove that background, and I've got to open up the meter by removing the tape, or actually I'm just going to cut the tape all around the edge here, and this slides out the front top. I'll just do that now. Ava's been snoring. Alright, sorry for boring you, Ava. Okay, tape removed, front fascia off. I'm ready to slide that out, which is vertical. I'm just going to be very careful. I'm going to use my blade to move it up, pry it out from underneath. Okay, there we go. It's out. There's the meter. Now I'll disassemble the other meter now. Alright, it's changed over. Meter's done. That's the best that I can do. Also that needle was bent to the left a tiny bit, so I straightened that up. The label doesn't go down any further than that, so it's a bit different to the original, but it is what it is. So now is the time to solder in and replace the bulb. Alright, just going through the wiring. I've done the signal meter. Remember, neat work is easy to do, sloppy work's hard to fix. One of the areas that I've got to fix at the moment is this sloppy work here to the light, the old light, and then go to the ground. Now these these whatever they're called, the incandescent lights, there's no polarity on them. That's why they supply you with 2 red leads, so you can't mix this up. LEDs are polarized. Okay, this is not an LED. So you need to be aware of that when you're doing any wiring. Again, this is about an older looking restoration. Another little thing, when you do get these meters, these bulbs are generally halfway in the silicon housing. It's a good idea to push the bulb out so that it's in the middle of the meter, and that gives you more light across the meter instead of it being very dim. Alright, the progress goes on. Alright, removing, oh look at the size of my finger. Removing that blob there and cleaning it and then putting in new solder. Alright, before I solder, I just want to show you, I removed all of the solder blobs from here. This, the cable was not meant to be on top, so what I've done is gone in from the bottom and folded the lug over as per factory, and I'm now going to solder. Alright, there I go. That's my soldering, just there and cleaned. See how it blends in with the rest of the work? Alright, that's what you're looking for. Alright, we've now flipped the radio, and again, typical soldering right here. You can see that only the tip of the wire is actually soldered. See that? Again, quality of work is in the detail. Right, I'm going to take this. So go back to putting the meter back in, just angled it in, fitted it. Now we have to put the supporting bracket in. That goes in behind, if you remember, like so. Okay, meter's in. As per previous videos, for those who haven't done many of these, you really do have to watch out for your connections here at the back, especially the light connections. And as mentioned in previous videos, it's quite common that I see radios that I bought with the wires trapped in between the brackets, and it shorted out and caused a whole lot of mayhem within the radio. So always make sure that either your signal meter wires clear brackets. With this, it's around about 3 mils, so that's all fine. And the light wires are around the back of the bracket. All right, let's try and plug it in and light it up. Okay, there's your video for today. It's now all installed and working. And we can see I now have a genuine looking SRF meter. Thank you very much for watching, and apologise for the length. There may be a couple of minutes in the middle that I haven't edited out, but I'll upload this now. And remember, please comment, like and subscribe. You're all appreciated. Cheers, guys.